Hey guys, it's Maggie and I am back today, and today we're going to talk about getting ostomy supplies when you have difficulty getting access to them. Some people that are uninsured or underinsured may have difficulty purchasing ostomy supplies out of pocket, or they might be hit with hard times for a multitude of reasons and they just can't get their supplies the way that they normally would. So we're going to talk about different methods of finding supplies when you need them. You're probably already aware that ostomy supplies, much like most medical supplies out there, they're very expensive, absurdly expensive. So we'll talk about some different ways that you can get your supplies. I had mentioned in the past that I had difficulties myself getting ostomy supplies covered by insurance, and that was because I had trouble getting a prescription from my colorectal surgeon who knew that I did not have a colon and had an ostomy, but he kept wanting me to see a WOCN. They're hard to see. You have to make an appointment well ahead of time, so it just took a really long time for me to get there. Plus, I had a whole bunch of other health stuff going on, so seeing a WOCN was on the back burner. This meant that I had to buy supplies out of pocket, and at the time I was experiencing a lot of skin trouble too, so I was going through my ostomy bags so fast, and it cost me around $400 a month. That is a lot. And I was like, why am I paying for insurance and I'm not getting any coverage? I'm barely using it. So eventually I was able to make an appointment with a WOCN. That was actually about a year ago. Gosh, time flies. That's scary. That was about a year ago though, and since then my supplies have been covered, so that's awesome. But I realized that some people, even with that prescription from their doctor, for whatever reason, their insurance doesn't seem to see the need of having ostomy bags for a stoma. I know. We're not here to discuss that. We're here to discuss how we can solve this problem, even if it's a short-term solution, because I have gotten numerous messages from people asking about where to get supplies in a pinch. So we'll talk about some different ways, and then I'm going to talk about some more affordable options for those paying out of pocket. I recognize that everybody's definition of affordable is different, so please keep that in mind. I was trying to find the best value for your dollar when it comes to ostomy supplies, and it's stuff that I have used when I was going through ostomy bags very quickly and spending a lot of money. The first thing that you can try is reaching out to your WOCN, wound ostomy incontinence nurse, or your stoma nurse, whatever you call it, or reaching out to your surgeon to see if you can get coverage. Sometimes they have supplies within the hospital that they're able to provide you. In fact, a lot of people go home with supplies from the hospital. So if you're worried about that, try contacting them first. They may have the best local resources for you. You can also try ostomy support groups. The UOAA has a list of all of the nation's ostomy support groups, so sometimes they will do donations and help patients out through that, so that is another avenue to go. I have also heard that reaching out to manufacturers directly, like Hollister, Convatec, Coloplast, whoever, reaching out to them directly, explaining your situation, can sometimes be a way to get some ostomy supplies. Obviously, that will probably be on a case-by-case basis, and I have not tried that myself, so I cannot guarantee that, but what I do know is a lot of these companies will send out samples, so it's always worth at least trying for a few samples just to keep you going, especially if you've completely run out of supplies and you need them right away. You can even try posting on Facebook groups, ostomy Facebook groups. There's a bunch out there, and the groups are pretty large, so there's people from all over. You can try posting on there to see if anybody's local to you and willing to get you a few bags should you need them. Then there are a few different organizations that specifically deal with ostomy donations and distribution. One of those is Kindred Box. They are wonderful. They have a lot of great resources on their website, but you can donate to them should you have any extra supplies that you don't use, and then patients can apply for supplies, and they are specifically for people underinsured or uninsured completely. So it does require an application process, but They are lovely. I'll put their link below, and I also want to provide a link on their website that I found that talks about international resources. So I know I'm speaking mainly from the United States, but I have viewers from all over the world. So that is a great webpage. I'll put it in the description below so everybody has it. The other one that I think about too is Friends of Ostomates Worldwide. Again, you can donate to them too, but they are an international organizations, so they can help serve people that are outside of the United States. I've actually met them at conferences. They are lovely. They're a lovely group of people, so I highly recommend them. They're just really nice people, so I will put their link below as well too. Now, purchasing supplies out of pocket can be a little bit confusing. There are large companies, distributor companies that we probably think of right at the top of our mind, like Edge Park. I use Adapt Health. I forgot the name for a second because it used to be McKesson. There are these big distributors that doctors will often send prescriptions to for ostomy supplies. Sometimes, I believe some of them you can just purchase out of pocket, pay them directly for the supplies. They make it confusing and difficult. It isn't easy. I apologize. My voice keeps giving out. You guys know my sinus problems. I have cleared my throat 800 times and I don't want to do it on film. So if I sound a little craggly, you know why. Continuing on. I prefer to go online and look for ostomy distributors that are just online stores. So you can see all the products, you can add to your cart, and pay for it directly. Sometimes these are cheaper too than your big distributors like Edge Park, like McKesson. I have noticed that the prices tend to be a little bit cheaper. The ones that I really like, there's two that I've used in the past. The first one is Health Products for You. I've used that a couple of times, but it's been a few years. But they carry ostomy supplies. You can add, all of the big name brands that we hear of, Convatec, Coloplast, Hollister, there's a bunch more, but you can go on there, type in ostomy, and you'll see all of your choices. Same goes for another company called Medical Monks, and that is actually where I purchased my ostomy supplies out of pocket for a long time. They had the best prices, I thought. I would buy like little samples of paste and put that in a to-go kit. So they gave great options. And the other thing that I really liked about them, I think that they might be nearby to where I live, so this may have something to do with it. Every time I've ordered from them, they ship it so fast. So if I'm running out of supplies, I'll have them in 2 to 3 days, which is incredible. But they're probably my favorite online store. I still use them for things that my insurance won't cover. So I'm going to put both of those stores' links below. But let's talk about those name brands. Like I said before, the bags that you see everywhere, the Convatec, the Coloplast, the Hollister. I like to think of them as name brand ostomy bags because that's really what they are. They've got great features that help not just, the bag functioning as it should, holding your output, but all these other features that make it more comfortable for the wearer. Things like filters, more comfortable fabric, easy open spouts to empty the bag, things of that nature that are kind of add-ons that aren't necessarily needed, but definitely make you feel more confident with it. Now, I don't know if you knew this, but you can go on Amazon and get what I like to call generic ostomy bags. And that is what I did when I was going through so many ostomy bags. They tend to be quite a bit cheaper. And there's a good reason for that. They definitely don't look as nice as the name brand ostomy bags. They aren't as sleek. They don't function as well, but they function. And that's what I needed. I needed a cheap ostomy bag just to get me through until I could get my prescription. And you'll see the price difference. For about $50, you can get 10 Hollister one-piece bags, which, by the way, one-pieces do tend to be a bit cheaper in total compared to the two-piece bags where you have to buy the flange and the bag separate. So if you're looking for something more affordable, looking at one pieces is a good start. But anyways, for $50 about, you can get 10 Hollister ostomy bags, or you can hop on Amazon. I think the brand is like Caribou. What the heck is it? Caribou? I don't know. Um, you can hop on Amazon and for about $37 get 20 ostomy bags. So I think that's around $1.85 a bag. Whereas with the Hollister ones, it's $5 a bag. Like I said, compared to our really nice ostomy bags, our designer bags, these are definitely lower in quality, but they work. They stick well. They have hydrocolloid backing, so it does the same thing your name brands will do, but you can tell that the plastic is a little bit more crinkly. I know for myself, I do not like when bags crinkle a whole lot. You can also tell that the fabric is a bit thinner than other ostomy bags, so you can sort of see through it. And then the plastic underneath of the fabric is clear. It does come with a filter, which is nice, but I'm not sure as to how well it functions. I've actually never had a whole lot of luck except for with Hollister filters of actually working. So that is something you'll have to keep in mind. And the drainage spout is not as good as other brands, but it definitely is easier than some too. They did provide a little bit of plastic at the bottom to help pop the end open, but you'll see that the plastic sort of creases, so you know, how long are we actually going to get out of this ostomy bag? We'll probably get 2 to 3 days, which is good. It's better than not having an ostomy bag. I have heard of patients using like plastic Ziploc bags and tape when they don't have ostomy bags, and you know, it's not just about keeping your skin healthy and all of that, it's just the emotional side of it, of not being able to deal with that. I couldn't imagine dealing with that. So that's why I'm putting this video out here. I don't know if it'll help anybody, or there may be situations where none of this is helpful to you, but I wanted to put the information out there. I will put the link below to where I got these ostomy bags, but with them, there are a few creative ways that you can make them work better for you. One of the things that I would do was wear an ostomy cover like the stoma cloak on it. That way, you know, it kept it actually opaque, made it a little less crinkly, and just felt a little bit more comfortable, because the fabric is so thin on them that in the hotter months, you just sweat. And then plastic on skin, it just isn't good. You might start a little fungal infection there. So I would recommend putting a cover on it, and that's something that you could reuse over and over again, so it's not a reoccurring cost. Looking at accessory items to go along with the bag, things like paste, barrier rings, skin barrier, adhesive remover. Honestly, looking at the prices of the off-brand compared to the name brand, they're pretty comparable, so if you need them, go for the name brand. But what I have found is one company that seems to be cheaper than the rest, and they're a pretty well-known brand, safe and simple, compared to a lot of your big brands. They are cheaper, which is super nice. It makes those things a little bit more accessible for people. I believe you can also request samples from their website as well, just to try out some different things. But yeah, those are some ways to keep ostomy care a little bit more affordable when you're paying out of pocket. I already know the comments I'm gonna get from everybody not in the US going, wait, you have to pay out of pocket? Sometimes we do. It's a huge cost. Obviously, $400 is a lot per month. And I wish I had that prescription sooner. My WOCN was not thrilled with my surgeon for not just doing the prescription, but it was just somebody, I think, not experienced with it and trying to be careful. So I understand it, but at the same time, I wasn't asking them to, you know, pick out the type of bag, pick out the type of flange. It was like, just call the company, tell them I need supplies. I can tell you what I need. I can give you the numbers if that's what you need, but yeah. So I at least partially understand that side of it, but I have been fortunate not to have been in a position where I didn't have anything, except for at Red Lobster that one time. Never lived that one down. That poor waitress thought that I didn't like the food because of how fast we left, but it was because I had paper towels and the seat cover things, which were kind of waterproofy. had that wrapped around my stomach, and I was like, we gotta go. Learn from my mistakes and be prepared. Learn from my mistakes and be prepared. Anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video and found something helpful within it, and if you have any more resources, please comment them below. I can only pin one comment, but if I find a really good comment, I will pin it so other people can see it at the top. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next. Bye, guys.